Hi, you're watching Dog Eared Musings. I'm Monica. I'm a library student who's biracial, and I read a lot of books. Today I'm going to be talking to you about a library haul. First book that I'm going to talk to you about is this YA novel called Yoke. Now, I'm actually going to be reviewing this in a longer video, so I won't be talking about it that much. I got this book because everyone on BookTube has been talking about it and has been saying really great things. So I'm really excited to give you a more in-depth review of what this book was like and the experience of reading this book. The next book I picked up was this thriller. It's a domestic thriller by Alice Feeney. It's called Rock, Paper, Scissors. I really wanted something that was like a palate cleanser, which is kind of funny to think about a thriller as a palate cleanser. But I've been reading a lot of existential, like character-driven work. And so I really wanted something that was a little bit more plot. So the constant question with thrillers is a thriller good if the writing is done well or if the plot takes you in unexpected places? While Feeney is a good writer, this book definitely leans towards the plot being the reason why this book is really good. The twists are super unexpected and fun. While the writing is a little clunky, I definitely picked this up for anybody who really likes thrillers like The Maidens or Donna Tartt or anything that's similar. The next book is called The Sentence, and it's written by Luis Erdrich. I actually finished this book last night. And I didn't want to put this book down. Even though we're 9 months into the year, we're filming this video on January 9th, I feel like this book is going to be one of my favorites of the year. This book sets place in a bookstore in the Twin Cities, a really popular bookstore in the Twin Cities called Birch Bark Books. And Louise actually owns the bookstore, and she writes herself into the story, which I thought was very clever. The main character is this woman named Tuki, who is actually haunted by this ghost who is a really popular bookstore visitor and customer. And so Tuki has to find out why this customer is haunting their bookstore. It's a story of reckoning. This book happens during the course of the pandemic as well as during the shooting and murder of George Floyd. And it's really a letter, like a love letter to the city of Minneapolis, while also a tale of reckoning and thoughtfulness. This book is really, really great, especially for people who currently live in the Twin Cities or have lived in the Twin Cities. It's like hanging out with a good friend. This next book that I'm actually currently reading is this book called Tell Me How to Be by Neil Patel. Now, Bookstagram got me with this one. I've been seeing tons of covers of this book, and I immediately put it on hold. It's one of my goals to read at least 12 books by Indian or South Asian authors. Well, as I said before, I'm mixed. My mom's side of the family comes from India, and so I really want to read more Indian authors. So it's my goal to read at least 12 Indian authors and to be more intentional with my reading. Neil Patel is a really cool author. So I've read a couple of interviews by him, and while he grew up in California, I believe, his parents are from East Africa, which is actually really common in the Indian diaspora. So Patel in his books really talks about dispelling the myth of what it means to be a typical Indian. And I'm pretty sure that this is what this novel is going to be working on too. Another goal is to read at least 12 books by multiracial authors about multiracial people. And one of those books is Speak Okinawa. So this book was actually recommended to me by my mom, who read this book over vacation. I haven't read a lot about what this book is about. From the dust jacket, it sounds like it's about a young girl who is grappling with her parents' relationship and the power dynamics of that relationship. It talks about language, it talks about her dad, who is a war veteran, so it kind of deals with all of these themes. A really fun novel of generational trauma. Another book that I'm picking up is this really thin, light book by Ruth Ozeki. It's called The Book of Form and Emptiness. Will I get this book done in a couple of days? We'll see. But I picked this up because I actually bought this for my sister for her birthday. And she said that she read it in 4 days and cried at the end because it was a really good book. I love Ruth Ozeki's other work, and so I wanted to give it a try. And this final book is Apples Never Fall by Liane Moriarty. It's another thriller. Later, when Joy goes missing and Savannah is nowhere to be found, the police question the one person who remains, Stan. But for someone who claims to be innocent, he, like many spouses, seemed to have a lot to hide. So I guess the kids have to figure out whether or not their dad is a murderer. Fun, light reading for January. But Liane Moriarty always writes really good books. If you've seen or read Nine Perfect Strangers or read or seen Big Little Lies, she always has books that are full of twists and turns. And so I was really excited when I saw this book at the library. And that is my book haul. Will I get it all done in 21 days? We'll see. I don't have a life. I don't have any friends. And I don't have any kids. So I probably will. And I'll review these books along the way. So catch me in the next one. This is Dog-Eared Musings. And I'm Monica.